Right, hello, and welcome to another episode of Tamara Unfiltered. Now, I must tell you all, this is like a Mercury flipping miracle. I'm not gonna say I'm not stoned because I've probably been stoned since like 2001. But I've eaten. It is not the weekend. I am not begrudging doing this. I've kind of shifted my plan around. I just want to shout out the lovely Paige. If you follow my Instagram, you will know Paige is my best friend Stacey's daughter, and she's got into makeup and she's really good. She's done my makeup for a few things now, and not only does she do fantastic makeup, but she also does childcare, and she's currently got my children at her house, so I have 2 hours to get this filmed. And like I said, not stoned, I've eaten, this all should go well. Now, this podcast is, I don't even know how to describe this podcast. To be honest with you, I wasn't sure if I should actually film it, but I don't know, in true Tamara fashion, I must remain authentic. And also, do you know what I feel like? Every time my life fucks up a little bit, it's just an opportunity to, I don't know, get some more content and film another podcast. So here we are. I am going to tell you a story. It's a bit about manifestation. It's a little bit about a fuck up. It's a little bit about, I don't know, things working out in the end, I guess. And I just wanted to tell you because, like I said, if I didn't tell you, first of all, you might wonder what the hell had happened. And second of all, like I said, got to keep this authentic. And you know what? I feel like over the years, I've been a help because I told you guys the truth. Like, I tell you actually how it is, and not like the shiny curated kind of Instagram version. God, sorry, my lips are getting really dry, and I don't know what's happening to my face right now. I'm struggling to get my words out properly. Sorry if I sound like a div. God, maybe I should have got stoned before this. Maybe that's the key. Anyway, this is a podcast about what ended up happening with the NMN people, because I know most of you kind of follow this podcast along, and I've been talking about lots of things and sharing lots of things. And quite a few podcasts back, I was talking about, if you remember, when I first started this podcast, I had like set this goal that I wanted to get £20,000 of sponsorship. Now, that didn't happen. However, the last time I spoke about this, I had said how I felt like I was very close to that and had in fact nearly achieved that. But in true universal fuck up fashion, this has gone very much in the other direction. But I just wanted to explain to you what happened because, like I said, there is a few lessons in here. So you might remember last week I did a podcast talking about two of my other favorite books to do with like the law of attraction and stuff. And one of the lessons I learned in one of those books was how you should not speak about anything that you haven't done that you intend to do to anybody. All right, for many reasons, but for one of the main reasons being, you never know who's listening. I mean, we've already established not everybody who listens to this podcast loves me. They are here for whatever reason. Like, I think I've got some people that listen to this that maybe don't have my best interests at heart, which, might I say, is fucking weird. You should probably find some people you like, and I don't know, work on yourself maybe, because that I don't listen to fucking anybody I don't like. I don't listen to anybody I do like, let alone don't like. But anyway, back to my point. The lessons in this book, you know, spoke about how you're not supposed to speak about things before they're done because you never know who's kind of watching. And while your energy and intention is great, sometimes, you know, other people have more power than you, and you never know who's watching, and you never know who just in a moment can send you a little dark thought, and then that thought might just penetrate your whole fucking life. You just don't know, right? So I think the first mistake I made was getting very excited and coming to tell you guys about it. So I just want you to know this is going to be the last story I tell of this nature. I think if I'm going to tell any stories now, they're going to be when the thing has far been gone and done with, and I've actually done what I said I'm going to do, done what I wanted to before I've actually spoken about it. So that, I think, was a very big lesson. Now, I want to talk about the NMN thing because it's been a little bit of a crazy journey, but I just, like I said, I want to be honest, I want to be open. I don't even know really what to make of this story, I'm not going to lie. It's gone not in the way I thought it was going to go, but I'm going to tell you about this story. Now, I don't know if you remember, but I filmed a podcast like a couple of months back, first of all, talking about NMN and how much it had, you know, really fucking helped me. Then I filmed another one shortly after that because, I don't know, it had made such an impact in my life. I was like, this stuff, I don't know, there's something about the NMN, out of everything I've ever taken, it's the one thing that has just made such a great fucking impact, and so quickly, and it has sustained itself. So I don't know, I'm just I'm completely in love with NMN. Anyway, so the first month when I started promoting them, now bear in mind I had sent them a proposal initially before I'd done the podcast and they'd completely blanked me. I hadn't heard anything back from them. That was that. Then you get these little invoices, right? Because I'm an affiliate with them. So they pay me per sale. So every sale you guys make, I get like an affiliate fee, right? So at this point, a month in, I had done them over 300 sales basically. Now, this was a shock to me. The way the affiliate thing's set up, it's on the first of every month that it sends you like an invoice. So the first one that came, it was like £200. And honestly, I was pleasantly shocked. It was like my first bit of influencer money. I was like, wow, like maybe there's something in this affiliate thing. Then the next month came and it was a bit more. It was like £500. And I was like, oh my God. Anyway, didn't really think much of it. And I don't know, they haven't got back in contact with me, and you know what I'm like, I was just getting on with my life. Anyway, so I hadn't heard anything from them, and then randomly one Friday night, I remember this because I just treated myself to a flipping steak. Just sat down with this flipping steak, and my phone started popping off. It was about 10 o'clock on Friday night, and it's Viva NMN people. They're like, oh my God, hello, like we've been looking at our affiliate sales, like you're doing amazingly. Can we ask where you're selling our stuff? We want to send you free products, like we'll send you NMN for life. We want to pay you to make videos for us. Like, can we pay? That's what they said. Can we pay you to make videos for us? And I was like, oh my God, yeah, like hello, dream coming true. This is what I wanted. So I was kind of messaging backwards and forwards with them. And I mean, at that point, they hadn't actually seen any of my content. So I very quickly sent them over the 2 podcasts I'd done and I'd posted like a few things on, you know, these little videos, these little clips of these things. I'd posted a few of them with my discount affiliate code on Instagram. So it's probably like 5 to 6 pieces of content, but that had already achieved a hell of a lot considering the amount of sales that it had and how much I hadn't really, at that point we weren't collaborating. I was just, you know, talking about this because I love it. Anyway, so they're messaging me, they've asked me, you know, can we pay you to make videos? I'm like, yeah, this is great. And then we stopped messaging because obviously it was late Friday night, and my mind has obviously started going into overdrive, as it does. I'm an ideas person more than anything. And if you remember back to, it wasn't the last podcast, but the podcast before, I'd been talking about how I wanted to stop smoking. And I was like, I felt like it was time. I was going to stop smoking the weed. And what I didn't mention in that podcast was how I think one of the reasons I had been feeling confident enough to be able to even consider stopping smoking was because of the NMN. I found out that NMN is actually used in high dosages to act as a sort of what is the word I'm looking for? Like a detox. Like, you know, when you're detoxing from drugs, you're coming off of something. It kind of acts as something that can help to help. I don't know. I wish I'd bloody written this down and figured out the word I'm looking for, but it is something that you can basically use to help you detox. So I'd got quite excited about that. And at the time, absolutely no one was making that correlation between NMN, right? And I mean, no one, everyone's talking about NMN for anti-aging and for energy and for this and that, but no one's actually making the crazy correlation that actually it is being used to help, you know, alcohol detox and drug detox and stuff. So I found that really, really interesting, and my mind started ticking over, and I've gone to ChatGPT and just kind of said to him, like, you know, these are the sales I've done, this is the situation, this is my idea. And my idea was I was going to go away. Remember I'd mentioned I wanted to go away, kind of rehab myself for the month. I was going to go away for the month and the proposal to them was we do a month's collaboration of posts, and I kind of make the focus about NMN, because the thing is, the focus it wouldn't have been entirely on that, but it would have been a good fucking opportunity to make it about that, right? So I kind of like built up this whole campaign in my head. I'm like, we could do this, we can do that. Sent them this big proposal. Now, after speaking with ChatGPT, he's like, you're worth £18,000 for the month, yeah? And I'm like, wow. Now you have to understand, to me, this is fucking wild. But in the world of marketing and stuff, it's not actually that much money in terms of what I'm actually bringing to their table. So I thought it was a good proposal. I've sent it to them, and I just got, in fact, no, that's not what happened. I had written this proposal. Sorry, I tried to write the story out because I knew I'd get it wrong. But I'd written this proposal, and then I messaged them, WhatsApped them Saturday morning after they'd been messaging me Friday night. And I was like, have you got an email address I can send a proposal to? And that was it. They completely blanked me. Now, because they'd been so quick to respond to me the day before and so enthusiastic, and the only thing that had actually happened was me sending them the content I had filmed, I started spiraling. Like, I literally mentally started spiraling. I was like, my God, they hate me. They absolutely hate me. They hate that, I smoke weed and that I swear and that I'm, not this polished kind of individual that you would expect to see doing this sort of thing. And I was just like, they can't stand you. And so many weird things were popping into my head. I even thought, I'm like, the wife hates me, because he had said to me, I'd sent the videos and he was like, I'm going to send this to my wife to look at. And that's when everything went silent. And I'm like, oh my God, the wife hates me. She thinks I want to sleep with her husband. Like, the most wildest things were going through my fucking head. And so I went to ChatGPT, because a few days had passed, and I was like, chat, what the fuck do I do? Like, I've had all this contact. They were so enthusiastic, and now I've asked for an email address to send the proposal, and they've blanked me. And he was like, whoa. He was like, calm the fuck down. He was like, this is the business world. He was like, chances are they don't hate you. They're probably just busy. And, he said a load of rational things to me that actually made sense, but I was so quick to just jump to the conclusion of, well, you're fucking a bit of shit, aren't you? They don't like you, which fucking lesson within itself. But so kind of quick to jump to that. And he just kind of calmed me down. He was like, no. They're probably figuring out how best to work with you because, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, fine. I just left it, put my little positive thoughts out into the universe. Was like, well, what will be, will be. And that was that. And I got a message back literally a week later, the following Saturday, from them saying, oh, Tamara, we're so sorry. We've been on holiday. We're just catching up now. So I was like, whew, sigh of relief. Because still at that point, I was thinking, oh my God, they fucking hate you. So I just, sigh of relief, I was like, oh, everything's okay. So again, I was like, have you got an email address I can send this proposal to? They fucking ignored me again. So I was like, do you know what? Let me make this easy for them. I will just WhatsApp them the bloody proposal. So I sent the proposal over via WhatsApp, and there was just more silence. And again, I'm just back in that place. I'm like, they hate me. They hate me. They hate the proposal. They hate everything. I was just excuse me, really flipping spiraling. And the thing is, the proposal kind of offered a few different options to them, because I understand £20,000 a month is a huge investment, and there were other options to like work on commission basis and just have like a little bit of input, a little bit of sponsorship, and I don't know, there was loads of different options. And in amongst that, I had actually acknowledged in the proposal that they might not want to work with me or be seen to be working with me because of the cannabis thing. And chat had suggested we do a silent partnership. And I was like, this is fantastic. So I could be promoting them. No one even knows we're really working together. It will still look like what I'm doing now, because I think this is actually good what I'm doing now anyway, and I'll get to that. But point is, they just, I don't know, they completely ignored me after that second time. So again, another week's passed. I've gone back to chat again. He was like, hey, calm down. He was like, that, again, this is the business world. They've probably got to consider your proposal, talk to different departments, blah, blah, blah. He was like, there's a lot to consider. So I left it. And then I said to him, at this point, I'm using ChatGPT as my fucking everything, leaning on him for all sorts of advice. And I was like, what do I do? So a week later, he was like, send another message, just like a little follow-up, like, oh, hey, like, hope everything's well. Did you get a chance to go over the proposal? That is when everything changed. They messaged me back straight away, and they were like, we can't afford anything like that. That's not in our budget. And I was like, that's okay. But at the end of this message, they'd put something that I didn't like the way it read. And I think obviously the way I react to things is not always all right. So I went straight to ChatGPT, and he was like, whoa. What they wrote was, they were like, basically not paying you anymore. You're making more than enough from the affiliate. Sorry, I've got to move this camera back a bit. They're like, you're making more than enough from, or they worded it in a particular way. They're like, you're making a ton already or something like that. And so I fed that into ChatGPT, and he was like, whoa. He was like, they do not value you, and that's quite rude the way they're being. He was like, they're being very dismissive. They clearly do not value you, don't care about you. And I was like, right, well, if my flipping robot has picked that up, like, that must be the case. And so I don't know, I felt a little bit disheartened, but where I'm always overthinking situations, I was just racking my brains like, you know, why? And then I just thought about my own self and my own business, and, you know, and I thought at that point, that month, I had done them just over, I think it was about £12,000 in sales. Now, for some people, that is their entire sales for the month. Now, with my own personal business, we tick over nicely. But a couple of years back, we had somebody who started buying a hell of a lot of products. We white label, so buying a hell of a lot of stuff. And it was great. First month, I mean, we were like, wow, she literally bought what we were selling in a month herself. Yeah, it was crazy. So that's it, sales doubled. We're like, wow, this is great. Second month, we're like, oh my fucking God, like, we can't keep up. We couldn't then keep up with our own customers. We didn't have enough stock to deal with our own customers and deal with her. By the third month, we've been nearly fucked. And by whatever, and the funny thing is, something happened to her and she stopped buying off of us, and it all just worked out perfectly because we couldn't handle that. It was too much. And so whilst I'm sat there thinking, oh, well, I'm so great because I've got them all these sales, I suddenly took a step back and I thought, hold on a minute, what if they didn't want all them sales? What if all those sales has been the thing that has like pushed them over the edge and they didn't have enough money for stock, or blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I just started thinking as a small business, and because I hadn't really looked too much into the Viva people, and then I realized they are just a husband and wife small family team, and, you know, I'm a small family team myself, so I again know the struggles that comes with. So me being me, sent them a voice note because I thought, let's just, you know, sometimes when you're texting, it just, the human kind of disappears. So I sent a voice note and I just said, look, oh my God, it was 4 minutes long, but I was like, I'm really sorry. I said, I was really open and honest. I just said, I've been using ChatGPT because, hello, it's basically a free assistant. I said, I think that's taken the human element out of it. I said, I run a small business myself. Like, I understand, you know, maybe you don't need this kind of growth. I said, maybe it was too much. I said, however, I said, I really like you as a company and I still would like to go ahead with the campaign, whether or not you're going to pay me. And I've lost my whole train of thought. I said I was still going to go ahead with it, whether or not they flipping paid me. Oh God, yeah, that was it. This is the voice note I was sending them. And I said to them in the voice note, I was like, I just would like to know, like, are you going to have the capacity? I said, because I can imagine if I've done, you know, £12,000 in sales in this month with very little promotion. I said, if I'm promoting it from this angle, I said, most of my followers, we're all smokers, ex-smokers, whatever. I said, this is going to be really interesting. I said, because of what it is, it's probably going to get a lot of new, you know, followers and attention and stuff on Instagram. And I was just like, can you handle that? Because I don't want to do all this and then you can't, you know, I don't want to cause more problems, sort of thing. Anyway, when I tell you, they just blanked me. They just completely blanked me. Didn't hear a fucking thing. So I was like, okay, do you know what? They clearly fucking hate you. Just ignore them. Now, at that point, I remember, like, time has passed, and at the beginning of the month, I had decided for my own, because I was so shocked by how much sales I'd managed to do them, because remember as well, like, I know I've got a few of you who listen to me, but I had no idea, you know, I would say buy something and 300 of you would go and buy it. Like, that's fucking wild to me. So I had no idea, like, I kind of had this capacity at that point, if that makes sense. So I wanted to see if what would happen off the back of these 2 podcasts and these few posts on Instagram if I didn't post anything for like another month. So I just didn't post a damn thing. I didn't mention NMN again, didn't post anything. I was just completely silent about it, thinking, you know, affiliate sales would definitely not be what they were the month before, but still maybe be a little bit. What did I do? I fucking surpassed the months before affiliate sales. There was over 350 sales that next month, right? So now, this is where things started to get a bit funny. Full transparency, they pay £10 per sale, right? So this 350 pots, they currently owe me £3,500, right? Now, up until this point, they have every single invoice, it follows this pattern of on the 1st of the month, it initiates the payout, right? And it's all done with my Stripe account. So it initiates the payout. And after you get that email, you get a follow-up email with an invoice. And then after that, it goes into your Stripe account and your bank and shows as pending. And then it can take anywhere up to like 6 business days to actually land in your bank. Now, the first had come and nothing had been initiated. So I was like, well, that's strange. And I'm trying to stop all the crazy paranoid thoughts in my head. And I just left it for a couple of days because this was February, right? And it was we got the 28 days thing. It ended on the 28th. So I thought, oh, maybe something. Anyway, so I left it. Got to the 4th and I emailed them. And I was just like, hey, I was like, this month's payment hasn't been initiated. Like, what's happening? They're like, oh, because of where the month fell. First of all, I WhatsApped them, like, is anything, like, that payment hasn't been initiated, is everything okay? They completely blanked me, which wasn't unusual. And so then I decided to email them. So I emailed them and I was like, hey, what's happening with the payment? They were like, well, because of where the end of the month fell, it's not being initiated till, I don't even know what they fucking said, but they basically blamed it on being where the end of February fell. But the thing was, I'd gone back through the previous invoices. They basically blamed it on the Sunday. That was it. They had said because the first had fallen on the Sunday or whatever, that's why it wasn't paid out. But I had gone back through all my previous invoices, cross-referenced everything, and realised they had always paid out on the 1st, whether it was a Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever day it was, they'd paid out on the 1st, right? And like I said, you get it up to 6 days later in your account. So we're at the 4th now, and I'm like, nothing's been initiated. And then, without even emailing me back, I had got a notification saying, oh, your payment's been initiated. So I was like, oh, right, that's cool. That was all normal. But normally, a few minutes later, the other email follows, like I said, and then it shows up in your bank account. Now, that never happened. So I've waited a few days. I thought, let me just be patient. It's Mercury retrograde and all of that. Emailed them back again, and I was just like, hey, what's... just chasing that payment, like, haven't received it. And they were really kind of rude. They were like, we have paid that. We told you. I'm like, actually, you didn't. Now, at this point, I'm not going to lie to you. There were all sorts of things going through my head. And this was, I think, more than anything, such a lesson in being a grown-up and not being a fucking gangster. Because my head doesn't always go to the right place. Like, if you ever knew the things that were going through my fucking head at this time, but I'm typing out these emails trying to act like a really nice, normal, sane person. Because what I want to type is, I'm going to Google search your image, come kidnap your fucking wife and get my fucking money. Like, this is what I want to write in the email. But I'm writing in the email, oh, hi, I'm just trying to chase the money, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so they're just lying. They said it's been paid out. Like, it fucking hasn't. So then I've had to go into all the accounts, like the affiliate accounts, take screenshots and show them, like, hey, look, this is what normally happens every month. It's now the fucking 6th. This has not happened. What the hell is going on? Anyway, I sent that on the Friday. They've got back to me again on the Monday, and they were like, oh, we're really sorry about this. I've sent this to the owner to deal with. Like, we'll let you know what happens. And that was it. I got an email a day later, the email I was supposed to have received with the payment amount on it, and then finally it showed up in my bank account. But I still don't know what happened there. And I would like to think like it was some sort of Mercury retrograde fuck up, but the way they dealt with me was just not okay. Like I said, and they initiated the payment and still never even bothered to message back and say, oh, hey, we don't know what happened, like, but we've sorted it out now, should be with you and whatever. Anyway, so I eventually got paid this money on the 14th, right? That is 14 days past what it normally is. Now, you can't tell me, I mean, I smoke a hell of a lot of weed, but is it drug-induced paranoia to think these people fucking hate me and they've done something with this money or tried to stop me getting this money because maybe they don't want me working with them? I don't know. It is fucking weird. And I tell you what is weird, and actually not weird, testament to the power that is fucking me. Up until that point, I had been earning, I was checking the affiliate count every day because I was just like, this is fucking crazy. Up until that point, I was doing a steady anywhere between 80 and £150 a day in affiliate sales, right? Minimum, it was £80 every single day. I was shocked myself. When this started happening and they were withholding the money and all this weird shit was happening, the affiliate sales pretty much dried up. Like, pretty much dried up. It was almost like the universe was saying, do you know what, Tamara? These people do not deserve your fucking affiliation. And it was so fucking weird, like, because I don't know, it's weird. I think as the years go on, I understand how the universe operates. And I just knew, like, the universe doesn't like what these people are doing to me. And, hey, Mr. Postman. And it put a stop to all of that. And all until now, I think we've gone from 350 sales last month to now 25 sales. And I just, anyway, so the whole thing from start to finish has just, it's not been the flipping greatest. Anyway, the reason I wanted to do this podcast was because I have learned a lot of lessons through this, and like I said, I don't think I'd be being myself if I wasn't here sharing what the fuck life actually is like, all right, and what actually goes on, and the ups and the downs and all of that. And this certainly is definitely a bit of a down. But I want to, before I wrap this up, I just want to talk about the lessons I've taken from this, because you know me, I love a fucking lesson. And I think the first one, which I mentioned already, the most important one, which I will now, this has made such an impact. Like, I will never, ever, ever speak about something before I have actually done it. I'm not going to do that again. I understand now the power in my tongue and fucking other people knowing your business. Like, not going to do that again. Any stories we share moving forward are going to be past stories. But I think another lesson which really stood out, and I think was the first thing that really popped up for me, because I was like, wow, like, you are not okay. Because I spoke to my good friend Layla about this, and when I told her, she just screwed up her face. She was like, she said, they must not like money. She was like, that ain't about you. She was like, you're great. She was like, they just don't like money. She's like, I don't know what's wrong with them. She's like, stop fucking working with them. And she kind of had a bit of a go at me. She was like, why do you think you're the problem? Because that was where my head first went. I was like, they hate me. That was my first thought. And I literally spent a week thinking, these people cannot stand me, which is, I mean, I live in, you know, I hate the word realistic, but logically speaking, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I know I'm loud, I know I'm opinionated, I know I swears a lot, smokes a lot, and all of that. But I'm not a bad person. And I think if, you know, like I said, if somebody had come along and done all that for my business, I'd be kissing their feet. I really would. I'd be so grateful to them. Like I said, even this thing we had with that woman, we loved her. She was in my prayers every night. She, you know, brought so much goodness, even though, again, it was a big lesson and stuff. But I just, yeah, it was a big lesson in how I think about myself and how I view myself. And again, not thinking I'm valuable. I mean, maybe a normal person would have been sitting there going, wow, you've managed to get these people nearly 700 customers in the space of 2 months. And they're not even appreciative, and you know, that's a them problem, not a you problem. But instead I'm sat there going, what's wrong with you? And I think this is really highlighted, that as much as I sit here and I'm like, oh, self-love and I love myself and all of this, I still don't think I'm quite there, because I don't want to become a narcissist and that sort of person that thinks I'm so fucking great. But I do think in amongst all of that, I shouldn't have been feeling so bad. I should have been feeling a little bit more like, well, hold on a minute, you've done something great for them, and then this is how they're treating you. I think I'm kind of getting there a little bit now. But even now, I don't know that situation. I don't know what's going on in their life. Like, they obviously haven't had any communication with me. And the thing is, my instincts are never wrong. For whatever reason, they probably don't like me, but it's not my fucking problem. And I think what this has done more than anything has made me realise I am quite influential. It's funny, I've spent this whole time being like, I'm not an influencer, but I think I do have a little bit of influence. And again, maybe in this lesson was just about realising that. And what a good thing to learn your influence with, because I truly love NMN. Even now, after everything that's happened, I fucking think it's a great product. And you know what, this could have happened with something else, maybe, you know, me not understanding my power, and I'm like, oh hey, buy this new fucking kombucha I just bought from Sainsbury's, it's an absolute bag of shit, not realizing it's a bag of shit. And then, do you know what I mean? Like, it's good that this has happened with a product I can still 100% stand by and be like, do you know what, company's a dickhead, but the product's fucking fantastic. So I don't know, it is what it fucking is. But I think another lesson that's come out of this is, because what happened with all of this, even ChatGPT was just like, why don't you just start selling your own NMN? And if you remember back to when this all started, I had tried to start selling my own NMN, but the kind of restrictions I had on it were so, it was such a fucking, I don't even know. I had a lot of restrictions on it, and I was just trying to white label it, and so I couldn't get the products I wanted. But now I'm like, hold on a minute, there's clearly a lot of people here that I can sell this NMN to. I believe in the product, I love the product, maybe I should be doing my own thing. And now, because I have learnt about not speaking about things before they happen, I am not going to actually share too much about the following. But the point of this wrap up is, I think I have an idea. I think I found somebody I want to work with, and it will work perfectly for me, because realistically, I mean, I would happily start an NMN business if I had 2 other arms and I could clone myself. Like, there's just literally not enough hours in the day. And I don't know, but I think it's funny, when you give things, a lot of the times you just got to give shit to the universe, I was just like, universe, you're gonna have to deal with that. And then this idea started forming, and I've been talking with somebody, and I think some cool stuff's going to be happening. But like I said, I'm not going to fucking talk about it because we've learnt from that. Anyway, I think one of the last lessons of this is a funny lesson, because the universe loves to fucking make jokes, but it is being specific. If you remember, this whole thing started with me trying to manifest £20,000. In this current moment, my NMN sales are, I could probably tell you actually, no I can't, my phone's over the filming. NMN sales I have done are at £24,000. Yeah. So I got the 20 grand, I just didn't get it specifically in my fucking bank. So another lesson here is, when you are manifesting, be extra specific. I needed to be like, universe, I want to manifest 20,000 English pounds into my English bank account under the name, I'm not going to say my government name, but blah, 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 and just get really specific. Because again, I was like, oh, I want to get £20,000 in sponsorship money. Well, I did, didn't I? I feel I basically did, but it's not mine. So again, the specifics, we must be very specific with the universe. And I think my last final lesson was, you must always trust the universe. When this all started going tits up, oh my God, I have to actually side note a little bit, not backtrack, I don't even know what. Side note, ChatGPT, who I fucking love, I do love, but he stitched me up. He fucking stitched me up. Months and months and months ago, my good friend was here. You know, the one I talk about sometimes. Very good businessman, bag of money. He's just, he knows what he's doing. I was teaching him about ChatGPT, and he didn't know much, but he was doing something. He needed an idea for this business. And he was like, but I'm not going to put the idea in. He said, because once the idea is in, it could steal my idea. I'm like, bro, don't be fucking stupid. Spoke too soon. Anyway. So back to this proposal I'd written for ChatGPT, where I'm basically saying to them, I'm going to be promoting their product as something that can not only help you with energy and anti-aging and everything else, but it can help you fucking stop smoking. Because up until that point, I had not heard anybody talking about that. I'd written this, told ChatGPT this idea. He's written the proposal. I shit you not, fucking maybe a week, 2 weeks later, I saw Callum Bastard Bumperclot Best on the NAD Plus page talking about, oh my God, guys, I used this to stop smoking. Did you, you little fucktard? Or did you steal my idea from ChatGPT? Oh my God, my mind was so fucking blown. I was so fucking pissed off. Anyway, so again, another lesson learned. I have an idea of 45 seconds. I got to stop feeding this shit into ChatGPT, because clearly he's not the fucking confidant I thought he was. Anyway, back to my fucking point. This proposal was all about me, everyone on the internet following my journey as I go across the sea and stop smoking cannabis after 25 years. But you all saw the podcast last week where I realised I could never fucking stop smoking ganja, didn't we? Could you imagine if them people had given me 20 grand and then I was just supposed to actually follow through, toddle off with my kids, give up my one true fucking love? Insanity. When I zoomed out the situations, I realised what I was actually proposing, not just to them, but to myself and my own life. I was like, bitch, you are fucking crazy. No wonder that went tits up. I don't even need to sit here. I shouldn't even sit here and wonder if these people don't like me. I don't even think it's about that. I think the universe is just like, bitch, do you want to think about that for a second? And that is exactly what I got the opportunity to do. So like I said, there has been nothing but lessons on lessons on lessons in this whole experience. And I'm grateful for it, because like I said, I know something better is going to come from this. And I know regardless of what happens, I will continue to just thrive and prosper, because that is essentially all I fucking care about and focus on. And the way that happens, who flipping knows? I mean, God, I was about to say something terrible. Let me not say that. Oh, see, the power of not smoking ganja before the podcast got a little bit of, don't know what the word is. Anyway, I'm going to go. This bench is speaking me. It's really pissing me off. But I just wanted to share that with you, because I thought you might find it a little bit interesting. And yeah, and what I'm going to end this with, it's funny because when this is all going on, the thoughts of bloody kidnapping these people and just generally being a crazy bitch, I'm like, if I can build their company, I can destroy their company. And I was like thinking so many crazy things. And I'm like, you don't need to do that. Regardless of however they've treated you, this product has let's be real, NMN's the reason you lot are even listening to this podcast. Let's be truly 100% honest. If it wasn't for me starting taking that NMN and actually getting my fucking source back, I wouldn't be here. So credit where credit is due, regardless of what's happened. That is a good fucking product. The company is what it is. Like I said, watch this space, because hopefully I'm going to be bringing you something a lot better, or at least a perfectly good alternative very, very soon. So watch this space. Anyway, I'm going to go. I love you all very much. Thank you as always for listening. Big up all of my Insta fam as well. I've been getting, some of you have been messaging me on Instagram, and all of you seem to message me saying, I'm really sorry for messaging you. I know. Why? You don't think I don't need that? I sit here in a room alone, essentially talking to myself, and I think I have such a good Insta fam. You're all like me. We're cool. We're not going to be, like that. But then you're like that, and then you feel bad. No, don't. I need that. I need a little bit of that. It's nice to know you guys are listening, and I don't know, it's just, I'm not going to ever lie to you. It's good to know that there are some people who are listening to these waffles that I try so desperately to bring together. And can we just have a moment to appreciate the fact that I've got this new plan now. We were getting the podcast anyway, but I just feel so much better about it. I was starting to resent the fact that I have to use my only fucking weekend off to film, and now I don't. My weekend off is coming. I've done my filming. I've just got a weekend of basically doing nothing, and I'm so excited. Anyway, waffling over. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you next week for, I don't even know what, I'm not going to lie, but I will see you then. I love you very much. Thank you for listening. Mwah. I'm supposed to just be really still at the end, so then I can cut the video.